Food of the Gods is a 1978 Bert I. Gordon film. If you don't know what he's known for, just look at his initials. He makes big things. Movies like The Cyclops, The Amazing Colossal Man, War of the Colossal Beast, and The Village of Giants. Hey, I didn't say he made good movies, just big movies. So how does the Food of the Gods stack up? Let's find out. The movie focuses on Morgan. He's a football player looking to get a little R&R before the big game. So he goes to a little island with his friends, Brian and Davis. On the island, they're hunting deer for fun. Morgan corners the deer and lets it go. But that's not good enough for Davis, who chases it into the woods. He gets lost and the horse gets spooked. Davis is all alone, and there's something up in the trees. Turns out these are giant wasps, and Davis is allergic to them. Morgan finds his friend dead and runs to get help. He finds a cabin and, not seeing anyone inside, runs to the shed, which is full of gigantic chickens. One pecks at him, but he's able to kill it pretty quickly. Morgan eventually finds the owner of the cabin, Mrs. Skinner. She's worried that some rats might have gotten into her special food. So this is what's making all the animals huge. She explains that this food is a gift from God, and her husband is in the city right now trying to make a deal to sell it. I have to admit, I was a little disappointed that the Food of the Gods is just some goo that they found. I was thinking that it was humans being harvested for some godlike creature, but this is what we're stuck with. Mr. Skinner is on his way home, and he gets a flat tire. And unfortunately for him, the rats did get into the food, and they're the size of tigers. They take him out pretty quickly, and Mr. Skinner never makes it home. Next, we see a couple who got their RV stuck in the mud. They try to flag down a car, but it just speeds right past them. What a jerk. It turns out that this is Jack Bensington. Mr. Skinner talked to Jack's company about the food, so he and his employee Lorna go to check it out. Some more wasps attack the group. The girls go inside while Jack swats at them. He's not able to do much about it. Luckily, Morgan and Brian show up prepared. They shoot at the bugs until they all retreat. The RV couple are having their own problems. The RV is taken over by rats, and they're forced to run. They find the cabin and explain to them about their situation. Morgan and Brian hop in the Jeep to take a look and find that, yeah, it's covered in rats. I'm not sure why they didn't believe him, so now Morgan comes up with a plan. He assumes that because of their size, the rats can't swim, so he's going to back them into a lake and force them all to drown. Meanwhile, back at the cabin, Jack is bottling up the food. He knows what something like this can do for the world, but really, he's only interested in getting rich. Morgan's plan almost works. Most of the rats fall into the lake and die. However, some of them make their way to the cabin. Morgan and Brian try to stop them, but the rats are just too much, and Brian is killed. Morgan does make it back to the cabin, and everyone retreats inside, except for Jack. He's too selfish and needs to get as much food as he can. Too bad for him because the rats get him. The rest of them shoot at the creatures, but they don't have enough shells, so Morgan starts making bombs with the gunpowder. While all this is happening, the RV lady is in labor. Yeah, I didn't mention that? She's pregnant, and it looks like she's going to have this baby at the worst possible time. Let that be a lesson for you, ladies. If you're 9 months pregnant, don't go on a camping trip on an island full of giant creatures. Knowing they're outnumbered, Morgan comes up with another plan. He goes to a dam, and using the homemade pipe bombs he made, blows it up, flooding the area, and it's not long before all the rats drowned. The water drains and they light all the rats and remaining food on fire. But it looks like they missed some, and it goes floating down the river. The same river that cows are drinking from. And you know what cows make? Milk for all the kids to drink. And that was Food of the Gods. Not a bad little flick, especially compared to Gordon's other movies. Imagine the potential this food could have. It could feed the world. But yeah, you gotta make sure bugs and rats don't get into it first. The superimposed creature effects that Gordon is known for are here, and they look pretty dated. They also used puppets, which look like puppets, but the actors do a good job, and the scenery is beautiful. It was filmed in British Columbia and has that fresh rain feeling. I don't know, you gotta watch it to know what I mean. I give The Food of the Gods 2 giant chickens out of 4.
You know what this food is worth? Enough millions you can use $100 bills for toilet paper.